elevation. We hunt and we hungry, we celebrating, turning nothing to something and celebrating. Markets changing, recalibrating. The first to get acclimated is the first to stack the payments, but you need to act with patience, but be careful waiting, cause this opportunity won't last forever before it is evaporated. So if you wanna flip some houses, hit me up to make a plan. Your flip deserves the upper hand.
Everybody, welcome back to another episode of Raising the Flipping Bar. I'm your host, Marlin. Thanks for hanging in there with us. We've had a hiatus. I actually got really sick, lost my voice, so obviously that's not good for podcasting. And then we've just been so slammed with business that I actually changed around the episode for what I'm filming today versus what we've got coming out in the future. And the reason is we have more leads, we have more opportunities, and we have more things going than team members can essentially handle it in a great manner. And so today's episode and opportunity is about bringing in a badass rock star real estate agent or realtor. So if you want to make at least $150K or more a year, and I really feel like that's the floor, a handful of months from now, then tune into today's episode. You're not going to want to miss. The reason we are I shouldn't say changing to the team, but we're adding to the team. And it's because I've actually been in the field with our acquisitions team, and we've actually had a complete turnover from a staffing perspective of our entire acquisitions team. So obviously when somebody comes into this business, whether they've got experience or whether they, have been in the investment game, it's a different ball game. It's also a different market. And so in the last 3 or 4 months, no, probably last 60 days, I should say, I've been on about 45 appointments direct to sellers with my kick-ass acquisitions team, sitting in people's living rooms, meeting with families, helping people that need some help. People obviously have a lot of different situations going on. And what it's really teaching us is that we need some more help. And so what we're doing is I did our last episode and I talked about that we needed a polar bear. We got really lucky. We actually found 2 polar bears. We brought on Leroy and we brought on Robin, 2 guys that are just crushing it. They're complementing our existing sales team of Spencer, Stacy, and Rick. And so it's been this great synergy. But what's happening is those guys are getting me in so many living rooms and getting the company into so many opportunities. I don't want to slow them down. So what I'm now looking for is the unicorn. And I know I said we didn't want that in the last one. Well, now we need a unicorn. And by unicorn, I mean somebody who can keep up in a fast-paced environment and really lean into some serious opportunities. So the way that I'm thinking about it is if you're a real estate agent that needs hand-holding or needs things kind of delivered on a silver platter, then this episode is not for you. So just turn this thing off. But if you're a person that's looking for more at-bats, if you're looking for more opportunities, if you want that really condensed and consolidated training program because we have so many things coming at us in such a short period of time, then you want to lean in, you want to listen up, and you want to definitely keep listening to today's episode. We've built something truly unique at Elevation. We're actually kind of going on our 11th year. So again, this is not a traditional retail brokerage. And so if that's people's jam, again, we are absolutely not a fit. So what we're looking for is somebody that's a full-time agent. And I know that's kind of relative in today's terms. Full-time is very, very different. We need somebody who is not having, something else as a side hustle. I couldn't sleep last night and I was watching Owning Manhattan with Ryan Serhant. And there's this one agent where, she's like a journalist on one hand and she's a real estate agent on the other. This is not us. Other than being an investor, we need somebody who's super, super focused and super, super dialed. And so let me talk about what this person will do, because I think it's really, really important for somebody to understand when they come in the front door, like, okay, what's my day-to-day? And what am I going to be doing? We're growing, obviously, the flipping business. We continue to flip, even though we teach. A lot of people who teach don't do. That's not us. And our wholesaling business is really taking off. And it's been really, really exciting to see because of our acquisitions team. And so what I need is somebody to really help manage what we're calling the realtor pivot. So I'm paying for hundreds of off-market leads. And when we're going into these living rooms, probably half the time, the houses aren't that beat up. And not to say you have to have a beat up house to want a cash offer, but people are wanting retail. And yes, we'll give them a cash offer. But if they don't want to take that, or they don't have kind of something urgent, whether they're moving, whether it's divorce, whether they're in foreclosure, whether it's a hoarder house, or those classic signs where like they're not going to sell traditionally on market, we need to pivot to another real estate agent. I don't want my acquisitions team kind of getting bogged down with turning into kind of more traditional real estate agent, putting on their agent hat. That's a little bit longer process, and I need those people hunting. And so what I want to do is have this person on the inner circle on appointments with our acquisitions team, or being brought in as the rockstar realtor agent, that we're going to pivot to doing even, a little bit more traditional listings. Or we also have our unique fix and list. And this has been really, really great. We just signed a deal yesterday with a client where we put together about a $23,000 rehab budget. They need about 7 or 8 things done to the house because they can't sell it, or I shouldn't say can't. They would get beat up if they sold retail. They don't want a cash offer. And so Travis, our project manager, is managing some very light, mild construction, and we're getting it back on the market in a couple weeks. I need a person to be my point person to receive that type of business. The other thing that we're looking at is it, I'm actually just pausing because I'm a little frustrated at myself in that we have done in the past a good amount of on-market wholesaling, meaning we're writing offers for properties on the MLS, just like lots of the other big guys out there. I think we're doing it in a very different fashion because we actually want to build long-term relationships and do deals with real estate agents. And so there's 2 buckets that this person will focus on. One is writing on market offers for either, again, deals we keep as a company if we're in buy mode or that we're wholesaling to our clients. The cool thing about that is on the back end, we've built a great reputation and we know what the hell we're doing. We get a ton of listings on the back end. So that's why we're different than most wholesale companies. They want to churn and burn and they never know kind of who that end buying client is, or I should say keep that relationship going and list. That's not us. We want to do that. And we're really, really good at that. And we've got a great product to help people sell their fixed up houses for more money and almost have like a little mini consulting engagement built into when we list properties. So this person will be writing offers, looking for deals, and then just building agent relationships. Again, it's something that my 2 existing acquisitions guys right now, it's not really part of their scope of work and what they're focusing on. And so when I'm out teaching, this person can help me book teaching engagements for brokerages, which we do for free, different types of education. So again, being out and talking to those agents to say, hey, when you've got a crazy property or something that's not ready to go to market, we'll give you a cash offer. Please call us first. You get paid a commission. We don't need to. I obviously compensate you as the agent on the back end, getting paid directly from Elevation, not in a commission, which is kind of cool because then you don't have to pay splits. Don't tell EXP, but this is a unique opportunity. And so we really have the ecosystem set up to have this person succeed. So again, there's leadership from me. I'm in the trenches. I'm training people myself. We've got a great kind of culture of hustle and of integrity and of desire and work ethic. And so again, this has to be a full-time passion for somebody. We've got 2 beasts on the acquisition side. We have a different person who's doing dispositions for us. And so we have this well-oiled machine. And then we've got our other parts of our team, which is Stacy and Spencer and Rick. So we have in-house transaction management. Rick has been doing this since 2001 and over 5,000 transactions. So you don't have to handle the middle paperwork. I always am blown away when agents do that. I think that is the biggest waste of time. I need people and I want people selling and I want them making themselves money. And I want them to bring new clients to Elevation. I mentioned it. We've got in-house project management. So Travis is our senior project manager, and he manages all of our vendors, all of our subcontractors, our general contractors, pretty much anybody that we need to get these houses either flipped or fix and list, or even a partnership flip where we're teaming up with sellers to help maximize their value and splitting the profit. So project management is checked. We also have interior design in-house. So my wife, Ann, runs that division. So again, this is all stuff that clients normally have to pay a lot of money for, and we've got the tools ready to rock and roll. We've got Rick running transaction management. And then we also have some in-house training and coaching through the company that we run out of all of our cold calling with. And we've got one-on-one coaching with a very high-level coach who works with about 40 or 50 other high-level investors across the country. So it's awesome where we can then get one-on-one coaching, and my team can get one-on-one coaching with people that are doing deals just like us in Seattle, Austin, San Francisco, Miami, like these other markets that are similar to Denver. And so sometimes when I feel like we're too close to it, we're like, damn, why did we miss on this appointment? We really get grilled, by our coach, Tyler. Shout out to Tyler. And so there's just so many support systems in place for this team. And then again, we have a lot of deal flow. We've got a lot of accountability. And so let's kind of recap quickly, because again, this is just, hopefully you can hear, I'm like ready to go. It's freaking Saturday morning and I'm in here recording a podcast in our building. And oh, by the way, you get to work in a beautiful co-work space that we own in Inglewood. So it's a sweet hybrid opportunity where you're out in the field, you're working with the team at the Broadway Collective, you're meeting with clients, you're meeting with sellers. You've got everything behind you. So here's who this position is for and probably not for. Again, the people that it's for, it's agents that are built for speed. It's agents that are built to be adaptable. It's agents that can relate to sellers and relate to other agents, more importantly, because I know some people say, oh, it's a lowball offer. Yes, our offers typically are a little bit lower depending upon the condition of the home, but we educate you on why and how we can build that relationship. You got to be able to handle tough objections from sellers sometimes. So again, when we're sitting in the living room and they have, again, I'll steal a Hormozy phrase. They think their house is the special snowflake, but we have 17 other comps to show them that the house is selling for 600 instead of 700. You got to be able to have those tough conversations. And it's also for somebody who can thrive within an ecosystem that we've built here at Elevation, and really kind of have this 50-50 balance. It's people that probably are generating 50% of the business themselves over time. Like, we don't want somebody to be like, cool, I'm here, drop, business in my lap. But the reality is probably half of your business will come from the company because of these systems that we're creating. And then you're going to be able to, create repeat business through different lead gen conversations. Again, reaching out to those agents, writing those offers, sitting in the living room for, those sellers where we do that realtor pivot, or we do that hybrid listing or that fix and list. So who is this not for? Again, this is not for side hustlers. Sorry, do not apply. These are not people who want quote unquote lifestyle. That shit's for people when they're in their 60s. Like, that's not us right now. And for somebody to come in and think like, oh, I'll work 20 hours a week and close 20 deals. I don't know. I should probably look into that job myself, but that's not us. It's for people who are not, allergic to work, being on a high energy team, being on a team where there is accountability. It's also not for people who don't want to write on market offers. We will be writing those offers every single week. And it's not for people who don't have, that streak in them where they want to connect with agents. They want to be people persons. They want to be pleasers and work with other agents and be solutions-based people. So if that's not you, again, this is not a fit. The other cool thing is, again, you get direct accountability to me. I will work with you one-on-one. You will be part of the inner circle with the Elevation team. I'm only looking for one person right now. Even though we have a brokerage and team through eXp Realty, which we'll talk about those benefits in a second, I'm not trying to bring in like 4 people and see which one sticks. Like, I want to put all my energy and effort into one person. And I want somebody who's going to run side by side and pace with Leroy and Robin, and then work really well with Spencer, Stacy, and Rick to really kind of fit within the team and find their place where they want to be for the next 3 to 5 years. Again, this is not like bouncing in and around, different brokerages. This is not a fit. So just to hit the highlights of giving you different exit strategies of why you can make more money. So again, we are buying properties to flip ourselves as Elevation. We are doing wholesaling to our clientele, where a lot of times we're keeping the back end listing. And sometimes we even do project management for our clients where we run the project. So we're not just slinging crappy deals. These are really, really good deals. We just had one last week where we had people literally say within 5 minutes of sending out a wholesale opportunity, they take it sight unseen. And this was at like 8:00 at night on a Thursday. Like, our stuff is good and it's only going to get better. Like we talked about, the retail listing pivot, where we say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, your house is actually really nice. We think we can list it as is and get you, not top dollar, but pretty dang close. Or, hey, you know what? It needs a little love. Here's how we'd fix it up. Get it back on the market in a month. We have consulting opportunities where, again, we work with clients and we fix up their houses for them in a fee-based fashion. You can list those on the back end. We, again, do partnership flip where we joint venture with sellers. We're also out there working with hedge funds and institutions. So again, this is not like, hey, congratulations, here's a Zillow Flex lead where you bust your ass. It's just a lead. It's not even a piece of business and you give up a monstrous split. This is stuff where we've already secured the client and we say, here you go. Here is a listing. Boom. Get ready to rock and roll. And then we take care of those back end expenses. So again, this is kind of truly like a net business. So if you're thinking about who's going to succeed with us, it's somebody who's probably going to be, really tapping into our model, doing a bunch of business with Elevation, and then bringing that hustle and bringing your other 50% of your business, because on that you get better splits. And we've also got a cap going. So as we wrap up, let me talk about compensation. What we've got, again, is a team at eXp Realty. So with that, it's a phenomenal opportunity where you can earn revenue share. If you bring on other agents, you get a piece of their deals. You get company stock. And then we have a cap on business that you're bringing in and producing versus house leads. There's obviously, a little bit better split for the company because I'm just dropping a lead in your lap or even a piece of business in your lap. So again, we're offering, a lot of unique opportunities. So what does it take to join the team? We need somebody that obviously has an active Colorado real estate license. They need to have at least 2 years of experience. I can't teach people the 101 of real estate. That has to be kind of already done. and checked off the box. Of course, you'd have to join our team at Elevation. We have now a team of 22 people within EXP, but our core team is 7 people that work with us in the Broadway Collective here locally in Denver. You've got to be able to meet with clients both in the field and at our property. We typically have 2 meetings a week. So again, I'm not here to, meeting people to death. That's the worst. And we need people of high integrity. I know this seems kind of crazy, but in this business, man, I'm just keep coming across people that do shady stuff, and we are built for the long term. I have another, I don't know, 20 or 30 years to do this because I freaking love it. So I'm not here to just make some money and then just go sit on a beach. I've got a lot of goals. And the last thing is we want to help you build wealth through real estate. So whether over time you want to invest in your own flips, we've got a team opportunity where people can invest. The company Elevation will run the flips and you guys get a passive return. You don't have to do anything besides, invest capital, and you can make a lot of money. You can pick up rental properties. We come across deals where I'm like, damn, I can't quite offer them what they want, but this would be a great rental. I personally am not buying. We're investing with Ann, my wife, and I in co-work space and self-storage. So again, you can build rentals, you can do Airbnbs, and you can get all this stuff off market too. So again, if you're interested, here's how you get in touch with me. Send your resume to info@elevationinvest.com. In the title, write hire me, and send us your last handful of deals and just a summary of why you're interested in this and why you think you'd be a fit. So again, just wanted to make this just kind of a quick little blurb to get it out there. We're going to be screaming this from the rooftops. It's the perfect timing. It's early spring. So these next 6 months we see as a huge opportunity. So we want to bring somebody in freaking yesterday. We're going to be sending this out in all of our platforms. If you know somebody else, I'm doing a referral bonus. So we did it last time. I want to send you to a nice steakhouse for sending somebody our way. Again, hopefully you guys can kind of see we're pumped, we're ready to rock and roll and really blow the doors off for the rest of 2026. We're on pace. We're up 45% from last year to this year. So we are going places and we want you with us. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys on the flip side.
Elevation, elevation. Flip that house, man, this money for the making. We gon' get it, hustle harder every day, fam. Sky's the limit, time to make this life amazing.